The Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton has suggested that Extinction Rebellion protesters who've been disrupting traffic in Brisbane, that's their strategy, should have their welfare payments cancelled. There are other suggestions he's made too, I think, in relation to basically, that they should even go to jail. What do you make of that?
Well, Peter Dutton doesn't know what living in a democracy means. I mean, one of the most fundamental rights in any democracy is the right to speak up and to protest against those in power. And what we're seeing with a number of protests are people fed up with governments and not doing what needs to be done, whether it be tackling climate change, the mass extinction that we're seeing, the loss of biodiversity, one of the fastest rates ever in human history. And people are fed up where we've got governments doing a bidding of big and powerful industries like the fossil fuel industry and not implementing laws that we know will protect the environment and leave the planet in better shape for future generations. He's starting to sound more like a dictator than he is an elected politician. Because somebody says something that he doesn't like, that he doesn't support, he's saying we're going to strip away income support from them.
It's not so much what they're saying, though, to be fair to Peter Dutton. He's talking about their actions. Now, they have been using tactics which are seeing them, receive fines in Brisbane, holding up traffic, and they're very deliberately using these tactics. Do you think those tactics are acceptable?
Well, those tactics, when they're illegal, these are people who will face the consequences of their actions.
They're saying that the consequences are not strong enough.
Well, they are strong enough. Whether it be trespass laws, people can be fined, and indeed, when there's serious public damage and trespass, people are subject to sentences, prison sentences. So we do have laws. The laws exist. When people decide that they're going to break those laws, they need to face the consequences of those actions. Well, it's not just fines. I mean, many of these laws carry with them custodial sentences. So
do you support them?
I support the laws as they exist. I mean, look, I come from a party that is founded on the notion that protest and social movements are an important part of creating change, as is the political process. My predecessor, Bob Brown, was in jail on the day he was awarded an Australia Day honour. So, of course, we support the right of people to protest. We also recognise that when that protest means that people are breaking the law, they need to face the consequences of those actions. But for Peter Dutton to say we're going to start docking people's income support, I mean, this is not this is not a democracy.
Sure, but if there are full-time activists who receive welfare and then use that welfare to facilitate full-time activism, do you think that's appropriate?
Well, there are people who are currently on income support who have to satisfy that they're looking for work, and they have to satisfy all of those requirements, otherwise they don't continue to get that income support. If people choose in their own time to express what is their democratic right to stand up for something they believe in, like the fate of the planet, the fact that we're facing a climate emergency and governments are sitting on their hands, then absolutely they should be able to do that. What are we saying? That because someone's on income support, they shouldn't be allowed to protest?
Okay, how about
they shouldn't be able to spend their private time standing up for causes they believe in?
How about the actual strategies and the tactics that are specifically being used by this group? Do you personally support them?
Look, Patricia, when you look at all change, social movements, those people who are on the front line, whether it be apartheid, I mean, the criticism directed against some of the strongest and fiercest opponents to apartheid was similar to the criticisms that we're hearing today, people campaigning against environmental destruction. Right through history with every social movement.
Can you really compare campaigning against apartheid to the kind of Extinction Rebellion protesters in Brisbane?
Well, I don't want to compare one cause and pit it against another, but what I will say is that we are facing a climate emergency. We're seeing the loss of plants and animals like at no other time in human history. We are in the middle of a climate and environmental crisis, and people are frustrated with the actions of governments.
Do you think it's particularly helpful at getting people on their side, though, when they're holding up traffic like that and creating chaos?
I think we need to do lots of things to actually change.
But do you see that it actually puts people offside?
But it also means that we can have a conversation, and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now about the need to act on the climate crisis. I mean, I've chosen to engage through politics to try and achieve change through the political process.
You see, if you were driving around in Brisbane and you were just stuck, you wanted to pick up your kids from school, you were stuck, or drop them off at school happening during peak hour.
It's actually young people and school kids who are driving much of these protests. I mean, I was at the climate strike. Like, the city shut down for a few hours. It was an inspiring movement to be a part of. I was proud to be marching with lots of young people who get it, and that gives me hope that we've actually got some prospect of turning things around. The problem is, right now there were people in power who are stuffing it up, and it's those young people who are taking action into their own hands, and good on them for doing it.